Hi guys, it's Caito Potato here, and this is a bloody public service announcement. Okay, so recently, you guys might know this, or some of you might not know this. I recently just got a dog. His name's Yoshi. He's a Japanese Spitz. He's 7 weeks old, but I got him when he was 6 weeks old. So he's been living with me for about 2 weeks, and I thought he was wormed. You know when you worm dogs, so you know they don't get worms and all that. And I was just like thinking, oh, he doesn't have worms because I pick up his poo every 2 bloody seconds, basically, to be honest. Like my entire life is just revolved around cleaning up puddles and his poos. So I was like, oh no, he doesn't have worms. I'd see them in his poos. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Then I found out that he actually hasn't been wormed. And I was like, oh no. So I went online, bought some worm tablets. I was like, here you go, have a wormy tablet. I know that you don't have worms though, so it's all good. I was lying in bed, as in right here. And he was right here next to me, okay? Sleeping next to me, sleeping very soundly, okay? And he was right here, just doing his thing, fast asleep. And then, like, his head was here, okay? And his bum was here. And I was on my computer, and I looked over, and there was some, like, rubber band coming out of his ass. And I was like, oh my God, you've been eating rubber bands. What a freak. Like, what are you doing? So me being the mum, I pulled it out of his ass because I was like, oh my God, this is really stuck. I pulled it out. It started moving. It started moving. Okay, listen to this. It started moving in my hand. Okay. And I was like, I don't know that rubber bands came with like batteries, like AA batteries, because honestly, why is this thing working, like moving and working and moving and working? So I turned my light on. It was a worm. Okay, it was a worm. It was a worm. It crawled out of his anus and went on my pillow, and I was like, this is it. My dog is gonna die. He's gonna die from worms. Okay, literally this worm. I'm not even going to lie here. I never lie. It was literally from here to here. It was longer than my bloody dog. He's a puppy, and it was longer than him. I honestly thought a little bit of his intestine came out. I was like, so I was freaking out. So I'm not a bloody vet. So I start Googling it, and obviously all the things on the internet was like, oh yeah, take him to the vet, he could be dying, because there might be so much worms in him that he might throw up and choke on a worm that when he throws up. So I was like hyperventilating, I was freaking out, and then that night was the worst night of my bloody life. I'm going to tell you that right now, because all he did was just shit everywhere. He pooed everywhere, and I'm telling you, the worms that were coming out of his ass was ridiculous. You found more worms in his bum than your local garden, mate. Honestly, like, I was about to feed them to the birds. So the birds would have had a bloody, like, banquet with these worms. They were enormous, long, and ridiculous. I was like, how does a little dog have so much worms in his body? How does he have this many? So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I actually don't know what to do. I'm actually freaking out. So the next day, I took him to the vet. I was like, Brett the vet, listen to me, please. My dog is literally infested with worms. Not fleas, worms. Okay, worms. Like literal, actual worms. I took photos of them. If you want to see the photos, I'll put them in the comments below. Literally, he was like, oh, you know, it's just ringworm or whatever. It's just a normal ringworm. It's fine. Just give him a little bit of garlic and like, give him some anti-nausea and he'll be all good, so don't worry about it. And I was like, isn't garlic poisonous? He goes, no, only if they eat a kilo of it. And I was just like, well, this dog's not going to have a kilo of garlic. Like, is he a vampire? No, like, no. So that was fine. I was like, okay, cool, my dog's okay. Like, that's pretty cool. I go home, he sits down, and just a bundle, and I mean it, like, literally it was like this. You know, like a rubber band ball that you get from like the warehouse? Yep, those were just worms, just 30 of them all clumped together. And I was like, I'm actually going to die. I'm actually going to vomit all over my dog. My dog's beautiful white coat. I'm going to throw up all over the floor. I'm literally about to projectile vomit across the room to the United States of America, okay? I could not believe, honestly, it was nothing that I've ever experienced in my life. I honestly thought he had no worms, because I just thought that they would come out of his poos if he had worms, but I didn't know that if you gave him a worm tablet, then he would like get rid of it all. So I'm like, oh my god, because I thought that the breeder gave him a worming tablet, but she didn't. So I was like, oh shit. So yeah, but he stopped shitting worms now, which is good. I inspect his poos every time, like a true nurse, and he's actually doing all right now. So, but yeah, basically, if your dog hasn't been wormed, I recommend worming him because you don't want to go through what I went through when I was picking up worms out of his a-hole. Okay. So yeah. So that's basically what happened. He's all right now. He's just wandering around, just pissing everywhere. But yeah, you know. So yeah, that was a public service announcement. Give your dog a worm tablet, please. That'll be really good. I'm not a vet. I never will be a vet, but I recommend it. Recommending it to a friend. Okay. Write an eBay post about it. A positive comment saying, yep, A+ trader, but, you know, worm your dog. All right, I'm going to go now because I need to eat my tea. But yeah, stay groovy and worm your bloody dogs. Far out. Stay groovy. Buy my merch if you want. You don't have to. I'm not Logan Paul.